World War II. The most devastating global conflict in history. Video key elements are: Origin of World War II, Causes of World War II, Major participants of WW2, Role of technology in World War II, Political and military leaders in World War II. World War II was a global conflict that lasted from 1939 to 1945. It involved most of the world's nations, including all of the great powers, organized into two opposing military alliances, the Allies and the Axis. The war was marked by significant events involving the mass death of civilians, including the Holocaust and the strategic bombing of industrial and population centers. The origins of World War II can be traced back to the Treaty of Versailles, which ended World War I. The treaty imposed heavy penalties on Germany, which was blamed for the war and left the country economically and politically unstable. This, combined with the rise of fascist regimes in Europe, led to the outbreak of war in 1939 when Germany invaded Poland. The war quickly spread, with countries such as the United States and Japan entering the conflict after major events such as the attack on Pearl Harbor and the invasion of China. Despite the devastation caused by the war, it also led to significant changes in the world order. The United States emerged as a superpower, and the Soviet Union became a dominant force in Eastern Europe. The war also paved the way for the formation of the United Nations, an international organization aimed at promoting peace and cooperation among nations. Causes of World War II. 1. Treaty of Versailles. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919, was one of the major causes of World War II. The treaty imposed harsh penalties on Germany, including the loss of territory, military restrictions, and massive repressions. These penalties left Germany in a state of economic and political instability, which paved the way for the rise of the Nazi Party and the subsequent outbreak of the war. 2. Rise of Fascism. The rise of fascism in Europe was another significant cause of World War II. Fascist regimes, such as those in Italy and Germany, were characterized by authoritarianism, nationalism, and militarism. These regimes sought to expand their territories and influence, leading to conflicts with other nations and ultimately the outbreak of the war. 3. Failure of appeasement. The policy of appeasement, which was adopted by the Allied powers in the 1930s, was another factor that contributed to the outbreak of World War II. This policy involved making concessions to aggressive nations, such as Germany and Japan, in the hopes of avoiding conflict. However, this policy ultimately failed, as these nations continued to expand their territories and influence, leading to the outbreak of the war. 4. Japanese expansion. The expansion of Japan in Asia was another significant cause of World War II. Japan sought to expand its territories and influence in the region, leading to conflicts with other nations, such as China and the United States. These conflicts ultimately led to Japan's entry into the war and the subsequent involvement of the United States. In summary, the causes of World War II were complex and multifaceted, and involved a combination of political, economic, and social factors. The Treaty of Versailles, the rise of fascism, the failure of appeasement, and Japanese expansion were all significant factors that contributed to the outbreak of the war. Major participants. 1. Allied powers. During World War II, the Allied powers consisted of the United States, Great Britain, the Soviet Union, China, and France. These nations formed a powerful alliance to defeat the Axis powers and end the war. The United States entered the war in 1941 after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. It quickly became a major force in the Allied effort, contributing troops, supplies, and resources to the war effort. Great Britain, led by Prime Minister Winston Churchill, was a key player in the Allied powers. The country played a significant role in the war effort, providing troops, supplies, and strategic leadership. The Soviet Union, under the leadership of Joseph Stalin, was a major force in the war effort. The country suffered significant losses, but ultimately played a key role in the Allied victory. China, led by Chiang Kai-shek, was also a major participant in the war effort. The country fought against Japan in the Pacific theater and played a key role in the eventual defeat of the Axis powers. France, despite its early defeat and occupation by Germany, played a significant role in the Allied effort. Its resistance movement provided valuable intelligence and support to the Allied powers. Two Axis powers. The Axis powers were led by Germany, Italy, and Japan. These nations formed an alliance to expand their territories and exert their influence on the world stage. Germany, under the leadership of Adolf Hitler, was the driving force behind the Axis powers. The country invaded and occupied much of Europe, and was responsible for the deaths of millions of people during the war. Italy, led by Benito Mussolini, was a key member of the Axis powers. The country played a significant role in the war effort, but ultimately suffered defeat and was occupied by Allied forces. Japan, under the leadership of Emperor Hirohito, was a major player in the war effort. The country launched a surprise attack on the United States at Pearl Harbor and was responsible for numerous war crimes throughout the Pacific theater. Overall, the major participants in World War II were the Allied powers and the Axis powers. The conflict involved nations from around the world and ultimately resulted in the defeat of the Axis powers and the establishment of a new world order. Key events of World War II. Invasion of Poland. On 1 September 1939, Germany invaded Poland, marking the beginning of World War II. The Polish forces were quickly defeated, and Poland was divided between Germany and the Soviet Union. This invasion led to declarations of war from France and the United Kingdom against Germany. Battle of Britain. The Battle of Britain was fought from July to October 1940. It was the first major campaign to be fought entirely by air forces, and it was a crucial victory for the Allies. The Royal Air Force successfully defended the UK against the German Luftwaffe, preventing a German invasion. Operation Barbarossa. On 22 June 1941, Germany launched a surprise attack on the Soviet Union, breaking the non-aggression pact between the two countries. The invasion, known as Operation Barbarossa, was the largest and most brutal campaign of the war, resulting in millions of casualties on both sides. Pearl Harbor Attack. On 7 December 1941, Japan launched a surprise attack on the US naval base at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. The attack destroyed or damaged many American ships and aircraft, and killed over 2,400 Americans. This attack led to the US declaring war on Japan and ultimately entering World War II. D-Day, Normandy landings. On 6 June 1944, Allied forces launched a massive invasion of Nazi-occupied Europe, landing on the beaches of Normandy, France. The operation, known as D-Day, was a turning point in the war as it allowed the Allies to gain a foothold in Europe and begin pushing back against the Germans. Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings. On August 6 and 9, 1945, The United States dropped atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, respectively. These bombings resulted in the deaths of over 200,000 people and led to Japan's surrender, effectively ending World War II. Overall, these key events played a crucial role in shaping the outcome of World War II and continue to be studied and remembered today. Significant battles. 1. Battle of Stalingrad. The Battle of Stalingrad was a major turning point in World War II, fought between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union. It lasted from August 1942 to February 1943 and resulted in a decisive Soviet victory. The battle was fought in and around the city of Stalingrad, which was a major industrial center and transportation hub. The Germans initially made significant gains, but were eventually surrounded and forced to surrender. 2. Battle of Midway. The Battle of Midway was a naval battle fought between the United States and Japan in June 1942. It was a significant victory for the United States, as it marked the first major defeat of the Japanese Navy in the war. The battle was fought near the Midway Atoll in the Pacific Ocean and was a result of Japanese attempts to expand their control in the region. The United States was able to intercept Japanese communications and launch a surprise attack, which ultimately led to their victory. 3. Battle of the Bulge. The Battle of the Bulge was fought in December 1944 and was the last major German offensive of the war. It was fought in the Ardennes region of Belgium, France, and Luxembourg and was a surprise attack by the Germans. The battle was fought in harsh winter conditions and was initially successful for the Germans, but ultimately resulted in an Allied victory. The battle was significant as it marked the end of German offensive capabilities in the war. Overall, these three battles were significant turning points in World War II and had a major impact on the outcome of the war. Holocaust and War Crimes. Concentration camps. During World War II, the Nazi regime established concentration camps across Europe with the aim of imprisoning and exterminating Jewish, Romani people, homosexuals, disabled individuals, and other groups deemed undesirable by the Nazi ideology. The largest and most notorious of these camps was Auschwitz-Birkenau, where an estimated 1.1 million people were murdered in gas chambers or through forced labor, starvation, and disease. Other major concentration camps included Dachau, Bergen-Belsen, and Buchenwald. The conditions in these camps were horrific, with prisoners subjected to brutal treatment, medical experiments, and mass executions. Nuremberg Trials. After the war, the Allies established the International Military Tribunal in Nuremberg to prosecute Nazi leaders for war crimes, crimes against peace, and crimes against humanity. The trials, which took place between 1945 and 1949, resulted in the conviction of 22 high-ranking Nazi officials, including Hermann Göring, Rudolf Hess, and Albert Speer. The Nuremberg trials established the principle that individuals could be held accountable for their actions even if they were acting on behalf of a government. The trials also helped to establish international law governing war crimes and crimes against humanity. Overall, the Holocaust and war crimes committed during World War II remain some of the darkest chapters in human history. It is important to remember these atrocities and to work towards preventing such horrors from ever happening again. Political and military leaders. Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill was the Prime Minister of Great Britain during World War II. He was known for his inspiring speeches and unwavering determination to defeat Nazi Germany. Churchill's leadership played a crucial role in the Allies' victory. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Franklin D. Roosevelt was the President of the United States during World War II. He led his country through some of its darkest days, including the attack on Pearl Harbor and the Battle of Midway. Roosevelt's diplomatic skills and military strategy helped bring about the defeat of the Axis powers. Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was the leader of Nazi Germany during World War II. He was responsible for some of the worst atrocities in human history, including the Holocaust. Hitler's aggressive expansionist policies led to the war and ultimately to his own downfall. Joseph Stalin. Joseph Stalin was the leader of the Soviet Union during World War II. He played a key role in the Allied victory by leading the Soviet Union's military efforts against Nazi Germany. Stalin's leadership was controversial, however, due to his brutal tactics and human rights abuses. Benito Mussolini. Benito Mussolini was the leader of fascist Italy during World War II. He was a key ally of Nazi Germany and played a significant role in the war. Mussolini's leadership was marked by his authoritarian rule and aggressive foreign policy. Overall, the political and military leaders of World War II played a crucial role in shaping the outcome of the war. Their leadership, both good and bad, had a profound impact on the lives of millions of people around the world. Technology and warfare. Tanks and aircraft. During World War II, tanks and aircraft played a crucial role in the success of military operations. The Germans developed the Panzer tank, which was heavily armored and had a powerful gun, giving them an advantage over their enemies. The Soviets, on the other hand, relied on their T-34 tank, which was less heavily armored but had a more powerful engine, making it faster and more maneuverable. Aircraft also played a significant role in the war, with both sides developing planes specifically for combat. The Germans developed the Messerschmitt Bf 109, which was a highly maneuverable fighter plane, while the Allies developed the P-51 Mustang, which had a longer range and was used for escorting bombers. Naval warfare. Naval warfare was also a significant factor in World War II, with battleships, aircraft carriers, and submarines playing a crucial role. The Germans developed the U-boat, which was a highly effective submarine, sinking many Allied ships. The Allies, in response, developed the convoy system, which involved grouping ships together and escorting them with naval vessels. Battleships also played a crucial role in the war, with the Japanese developing the Yamato, which was the largest battleship ever built, and the Allies developing the Iowa-class battleships, which were heavily armed and armored. Atomic bomb. The development of the atomic bomb was a turning point in World War II. The Manhattan Project, led by the United States, developed the first atomic bomb, which was dropped on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, leading to their surrender. The use of the atomic bomb was controversial, with many questioning its morality and long-term effects. However, it cannot be denied that it played a significant role in ending the war and shaping the future of warfare. Post-war impact. United Nations formation. The devastation caused by World War II led to the formation of the United Nations in 1945. The UN was established to promote international cooperation and prevent future conflicts. The organization has played a crucial role in maintaining global peace and security ever since. The UN has also been instrumental in providing humanitarian aid and promoting sustainable development across the world. Cold War beginnings. The end of World War II marked the beginning of the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union. The two superpowers engaged in a global struggle for dominance, which lasted for several decades. The Cold War had a significant impact on international relations and shaped the geopolitical landscape of the world. It also led to the development of nuclear weapons and the arms race, which posed a significant threat to global security. Reconstruction and the Marshall Plan. The post-war period saw a massive effort to rebuild Europe and Japan, which had been devastated by the war. The United States played a key role in this effort through the Marshall Plan, which provided economic assistance to countries in need. The plan helped to rebuild infrastructure, stimulate economic growth, and improve living standards in Europe and Japan. The success of the Marshall Plan paved the way for future international aid programs and helped to promote economic development across the world. Overall, the post-war impact of World War II was significant and far-reaching. The formation of the United Nations, the beginning of the Cold War, and the reconstruction efforts all had a profound impact on international relations and global security. Despite the challenges faced during this period, the world emerged from World War II with a renewed commitment to cooperation and peace. The episode comes to end. If you got it interesting, please like video and subscribe channel. Don't forget to press the bell icon to get new episodes on time. Thanks.